forgot I don't have the mic. Fantasy Blitz. It's your boy Elijah. How are we doing? It's playoff time. Hair's looking a little That's okay. I usually don't care, but when... Oh, man. Don't you hate when your barber moves out of town? It's one of the most... It's just one of the most heartbreaking things. You know what else is heartbreaking, though? This team. This team right here. Now, of course, I have a time for each game to talk about, and I will discuss all 16 games because we're now no more buys. We're all good. Everyone's going to be playing from here on out. So we got a 16-game slate. And excuse me for my wheezing. Cold air does not do well for a young man that used to have asthma. I'll tell you that. So if the wheezing is annoying, I'm sorry. And I ain't talking Lil Wayne, Wheezy F baby, but you know. Ryan G in the chat. What's up, Ryan? I want to shout out. Excuse me. I want to shout out Hudson. Who else was in there? Hudson, Adam, Hayden. Congratulations, Hayden. And, of course, Ryan for making it in the Fantasy Blitz playoffs. It was a 6-team or 4-team playoff, so not 16. So it was really tough. No, I did not make it in. Yeah, it was tough. It was very tough. I've learned a few lessons this year, and I'll give you all my lessons at the end of the stream. But it was very, very tough. Wayne Heron says, true fans feel the hurt of their team. That is very true. And it's pure hurt, okay? I was just watching the game, the Minnesota game with some friends, and we were all just like, what are we doing? Like, why are we wasting our time watching this team? It is what it is. Hey, Ryan, you said I barely made it. You can just take out the barely. You made it, man. You made it. I wish I barely made it. I didn't. I didn't make it at all. It's unfortunate, but, you know, here we are. All right, make sure you hit that like button on your way in. Appreciate you guys so much. Again, happy Thursday to all that celebrate out there. It is 4:33 p.m. Eastern Time over here in Georgia. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's click on over here. Again, I don't have the control deck or the stream deck, so I got to be doing this whole thing. Again, if you can hear the echo, just let me know. You got to let me know. Let me do this, actually. Let me go over here. Click on that guy. All right. Whoops, I'm totally out of order. Yeah, we got a big one today. Let me pull up my notes. Again, welcome if you're coming into the stream. Welcome. Hit that like button on your way in. So happy that you're here. Seriously, love it. It's playoff time. It is playoff time, all right? And if you watch the Tuesday 2-minute drill video, we discuss how fantasy football, it's really fun. It's a fun experience throughout the year, not even if, because some people might not like if you lose every game. I don't. Well, you know, it's a fun experience, right? But it's all about not getting last, okay? Not everyone's going to win. There's one winner. That's why you play the game. But getting last place is terrible. So if you're not in the playoffs, do not give up. You have a trophy to not win, and it's the last place trophy. Don't win that, okay? That's why we're here. That's why we're discussing. Well, why would I take advice from a guy that didn't even make the playoffs in his own league? Okay, I said it for you. All right, relax. I'm talking too much. Let's get into it. Let's switch on over to screens. Present. All right, let me know if that works, if y'all can see everything clearly. I believe so, though. Let's get into it. So, topics for today, per usual, NFL news and starts and sits. And then we have NFL news. So, former Patriots head coach Bill Belichick takes job as head coach at UNC, University of North Carolina. Interesting move. Very, very interesting move. Not going to lie. Again, sorry for my breathing. It's very cold in here. But it's just weird. It's like the meme of, like, what's a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? But glad to see Bill Belichick in the sport of college football. It's definitely growing, but also falling down in some sort of ways. But welcome back to college football, Bill Belichick. And then we have the Broncos. Left tackle Garrett Bowles agrees to a 4-year, $82 million extension. Congratulations to you, my man. Getting that bread. I love it. Must protect Bo Nix at all costs, apparently. And then Aaron Rodgers. This one's crazy. I can't believe I was typing this one. Aaron Rodgers claims Jets franchise may have a quote-unquote curse, and he looks to break it. Garrett Wilson also said something. I can't remember what the word he described it, but it was pretty much saying the same thing of, like, this franchise, something's wrong, right? It's really weird. I don't know. And then face mask penalties may be subject to replay review in 2025. It might be one of those things where it's just like, they're going to look at it, they'll vote on it, and then it just may never happen. But I just thought it was interesting because Now we're looking at penalties being subject to review. So that's cool. And then last but not least, KJ Osborne, claimed by Commanders after being dropped to waivers by the Patriots. And then for teams on bye, we have none. All right, let's get into it. Let me escape from here and switch to screens and cam. Yes. Lovely. Here we go. All right, so Thursday Night Football at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. If you have no plans, now you do. The Rams are taking on the 49ers, a great divisional matchup. So we'll start with, the 49ers are favored. Should we start with favored or... Yeah, we did away last time, so let's do favored. We have Brock Purdy, Isaac Guerendo, George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, and DEEBO Samuel if need be. DEEBO was my guy. He was my sleeper pick, and now I'm putting if need be next to him. It just feels so wrong. It feels incorrect, and I hate it. But that guy's been stinking, all right? It's been really bad. Not a huge fan of it. So if need be, I still think it would be wrong to bench DEEBO Samuel, because you probably took him pretty high, but you might have a good opportunity to start someone else that has a better boom potential, because DEEBO does not have any boom potential that I've seen anymore. But let's go over the Rams, and then we have Matt Stafford, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp. Puka is coming off his highest performance of the year. However, San Francisco is ranked 6th across a lot of boards against wide receivers. So that's something to look out for. Yeah, very interesting, because I think Puka should still do well, but San Francisco is up there against wide receivers. And then this game can decide playoff hopes, and then Guerendo is coming off a 2-touchdown game. Now I'm going to try something new for us. It's just a question that I'm going to ask. It's just a question for each game. Do you think... I can't even get the question out. Do you think the battle of wide receivers decides this game? Because that's what I think. And that's what a lot of these matchups, it's about positional players, skill players. Which side of the ball is going to be better? Which team is going to have the better skill players? And I think it could be the Rams potentially. They're just the team that's on fire. They just got off the game of the year, and truly the game of the year, 86 points combined with the Buffalo Bills. And they beat a really good Buffalo Bills team. And they showed, I think, all of the NFL that the Rams are here. You know, they had a terrible start, but if you stayed on Fantasy Blitz, you would understand that they had some bad games, and that's why they lost. They had one overtime loss against the Lions. I believe that was week 1, and then they've just been really killing it ever since. So I expect a pretty good game from them tonight. Let's move on, though. Let's check out the chat. Sorry, guys. It's so hard to, look on over. Where can I go? All right, here's the chat. All right, Nick Walker, what is up, my brother? How are you? Love when you're in here. And then Ryan G says Jennings over Higgins. I would probably say so. Tennessee's top 3 against wide receivers. So Jawan Jennings is probably a safer bet. T. Higgins does have boom potential. Nick Walker says, need some kicker advice for the playoffs. I have Fairbairn, but wondering if I need to pivot to Koo or Lutz in Week 16 as Fairbairn plays outdoors at KC. That's a tough one. Man, I don't know. I would try to stay away from Koo just because he's been... I don't want to say the word that rhymes with Koo, but he's been that way. But you could probably stick with... I don't know. You could probably be sticking with Fairbairn. I don't know. Umar, yo. What's up, Umar? Glad that you're in here, brother. For real. Really appreciate it. All right. Let's move on to the others. Boom. Boom. All right. Now kicking off the Sunday games at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Carolina Panthers. Carolina, this is crazy. Look at that. They have a number next to their name, and they are favored. Would you ever believe that? And now, would you ever believe if I told you that this is Carolina's first game to be favored in, wait for it, 2 years? Carolina has not been favored in 2 years. Isn't that insane? I mean, through all the ups and downs they've been through, it makes sense. Not even a lot of ups. There's been a lot of downs. Makes not a lot of sense, but it makes sense for how they've been playing recently. They have not been winning a lot of games, but they have been performing really well, and they will be matching up against a Dallas team. So we will start with Carolina. This one will be a quick one because it's not a lot of players. We have Chuba Hubbard and Adam Thielen. And then for the Dallas side, we have Rico Dowdle and CeeDee Lamb. Rico Dowdle is one of the guys that I think is really going to help out a lot of people that have ownership on him, on their teams, or just rostered him. So look for Rico Dowdle if you have him. Put him in your starting roster because I think he's going to absolutely pop off. Excuse me. And I think Adam Thielen, he was in our waiver wire videos. His success is, yes, because of his own performance, but also Bryce Young. Bryce Young has really come into it. So shout out to Bryce Young. And then I'm not asking a question for this game because it's a terrible one. It's not a good game. But then Rico Dowdle, the reason I have him to be an absolute monster is because Carolina is dead last in the league against the run. So, and they don't have a good quarterback, Cooper Rush. They don't have a solid enough quarterback for them to rely on the pass game. So might as well just give it to the guy, Rico Dowdle, who's been doing really well for about a month or so to do well against the dead last team against the run. Let's move on. Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we have Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Cleveland Browns. We'll start with Kansas City. We have Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, and Travis Kelce. No wide receivers. They've been shaky all year. Even with the D-Hop bringing in, it still is not there, so that's pretty sad. But he could do well in fantasy championship runs, so just keep him on your bench, okay? I wouldn't start him just yet, unless he has a pop-off game, but I don't know how well he will do against this Cleveland Browns defense. And then we have Jameis Winston. My goodness, if need be, I don't want to yell, but if need be, you would only start this man if you needed it, okay? I mean, he's been pretty good. It's just like he's been putting up Jameis Winston games, and you don't need Jameis Winston games in fantasy playoff games. So if need be, but I do believe he could do well-ish against this Kansas City defense because their defense is more so powerful against the run. Then we have David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, man, he's had at least 5 catches per game since week 8. It is week 15 now, so he's had at least 5 catches for about 7 weeks. Unbelievable. Shout out to Jerry Jeudy. I've always known he was going to be good. I just didn't know when. Because where was he coming from? Where did he get traded from? Denver. I thought he was going to ball out in Denver, and they never worked out. The Broncos never worked out. But then it looks like Deshaun was going to help him out, and then nothing. And then Jameis comes in and helps him out a lot. So shout out to Jerry Jeudy. The big question, though, for Kansas City is can they figure out the run game? Mahomes has been shaky all year. That's correct. But it's Patrick Mahomes, so he can turn it on at any point. Will Isaiah Pacheco, will Kareem Hunt figure it out? Will that offensive line figure it out? Because if they get the run game down, I mean, it's easy for them now because their defense is already really good. And then you just have Pacheco and Kareem Hunt eating it up. So if they can get the run game down, that's be really easy. And then I think this could be a spoiler game. I don't know. I still haven't really made my mind up, but I kind of have. But I can see a lot of spoilers in this one. Let me open up the chat because it's a whole lot harder just to look in there. Umar says, at work, but gotta support. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, if Umar can watch it at work, why can't you, you know? And Ryan's in the car. He told me before. It's not like I'm tracking or nothing. And then he says, Falcons winning the Super Bowl. Man, I want hope like you, Umar. I want hope like you. I just don't like them. I don't like the Falcons, but I love them so much. All right, next game, Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We have the Miami Dolphins versus the Houston Texans at Houston. This one, I like this game a lot. I think this one has a lot of potential to be just a shootout or just even like a good, hard-fought football game. A good, hard-fought NFL football game for Miami versus Houston. So let's start with the Houston side. C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, and Nico Collins. I don't know if I have so much confidence in Nico Collins, and maybe it's because of how Aaron Rodgers and the Jets performed last week. Because we talked about how last week that the Dolphins were top 2 against wide receivers and against quarterbacks, and then Aaron Rodgers goes out there, throws for 300-plus yards, and then Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams don't look too bad. So I'm a little nervous about Collins because there's not the reinforcement of Stephon Diggs, but I think it's a solid enough start. I mean, you're not going to take him out of your lineup, right? And then for the Miami side, we have Tua Tagovailoa, Devon Achane, Jonnu Smith, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill, welcome back. We've missed you. We've missed you a lot. All right, so the question for this one is, can the bye help out CJ Stroud? We don't know because it hasn't happened, but I don't know how they're going to feel after a week of rest. They didn't really need any injuries to come back. It just seems like they've been up and down all season. Let's see, what's their record? Let's check out their record real quick because I'm not too knowledgeable. Okay, so the Texans are 8-5. Are they on any winning streaks? Are they on any losing streaks? Or are they just going back and forth? Yeah, so their last 5 games, I mean, they've lost 3 of them, won 2 of them. So a really up and down season for them. But for the Dolphins, they've been on fire. I mean, they have been on absolute fire. They've only lost 1 in their last 5. So, and they had a good game against the Bills. You know, obviously, if you don't win the game, it stinks. But if you have a good game against a good team like the Bills, solid enough, right? But the other thing to bring up is that this is a tough secondary for Houston. I know I've already mentioned it, but just be aware because if Miami takes that away from Houston and they have to rely on Joe Mixon, it could be a tough one for Houston, and that could easily put Miami back in the playoff conversation. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Oh, almost did I skip one? No, okay. Next, Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the New York Jets -3.5 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, I mean, I know I said favorites starting off first, but let's just look at Jacksonville. No one. You're not going to start anyone. So we'll go ahead and with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, if he's healthy, and then Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. The keys for this game is, like, there is none. Jacksonville is so bad. Yes, they just won, but they just beat a 3-9 team, Tennessee Titans, and it was 10-6. What in the college is that? That's terrible. Nothing like a Will Levis and Mac Jones showdown, right? Now we get Mac Jones and Aaron Rodgers. How fun. But Rodgers is getting better, and the offense is getting better, clearly, but they're just not winning games. I don't understand why. Their defense is solid. It really might be a curse. I don't know. They've put up 20-plus in their last 3 games, and they've lost all 3 games. Absurd. I don't understand why. I don't get it. I'm not a big fan. Don't like it. But, I mean, I guess that's the Jets. And, of course, I mean, you know me. Aaron Rodgers throws for 300-plus yards. I'm over the moon. And then I see that they lost the game, and I'm just like, well, what do we do from here? I don't know. However, Jacksonville's like dead last in nearly every single category for defense against these kind of players, or not like, skill players. Jets should demolish them. They should have their best game of the entire year. Don't know why they're 3.5-point favorites. I would honestly bump that line up to 4.5 or 5. We'll see. But if Breece Hall doesn't play, if he does play, I would expect that line to go up. But if he doesn't play, I don't expect the line to move at all. All right, let's move on. Let's check out the chat real quick if anyone said anything. Ryan G said, just got home. Let's go. Nico is amazing. What do you mean? That's my wide receiver 1. And Ryan says, Titans with a sad face. I know. But Will Levis, he's looking okay. He's not looking too bad. And then 4KTO, and what is up, my man? How are you doing? He says, start 3. Nico Collins, Cortland Sutton, Jalen Waddle, Jawan Jennings, and Ladd McConkey. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go ahead and tell you to sit Jalen Waddle. Not a huge fan of him this year. Or maybe even just this week. Go ahead and start Nico, Jawan, and McConkey. McConkey, if he's healthy, because the Bucs have a really shaky defense, so I think they can take advantage of that. All right, moving on. Oh, Ryan G says Collins, Waddle, and Jennings. All right. I can get behind that. I really can. Not bad. All right. So, next game, Washington versus New Orleans. The Commanders are 7.5-point favorites. This is at Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We have Jaden Daniels, Brian Robinson Jr., Zach Ertz, and Terry McLaurin. Let's check out our notes. The Commanders are also coming off a bye. There's no Derek Carr. They should eat this team up completely. Kamara's really their only hope, so it's just Kamara and Juwan Johnson. And honestly, I'm only really putting him in because we mentioned him in the waiver wire video, so be aware of that. And then this could just be a potential field day for the Commanders. New Orleans has been up and down all year. They had a really bad game against the Giants last week. It was 14-11. Excuse me. I think I'm going to retire the yerba. It just makes me hiccup, and then, I don't know. It just gets me frustrated because I can't speak all the way. So this should be a pretty good game. Let's check out. This is what I want to show y'all, though. Can I, like, do this without being, like, in the way? I hope. All right, it's fine. So here's the playoff standings right now, the NFC wild card and the AFC wild card. So it looks like as of right now, the Lions and the Chiefs, if the season were to end today, they would have the first round bye. And then we have the Bills and the Eagles. And then we scroll on down to the In the Hunt, which has expanded as of recent. And you can just see the Commanders all the way down here at 8-5, and then 9-4, 11-2, and then you have the Bucs. Of course, they get that last spot at 7-6. This right here, 8-5 versus the 7-6. These are two teams that are really going to be battling out towards the end of the season. And then you just have the Falcons, who are just, I don't know. I'm just going to, actually, I'm going to do that. I don't even want to look at them. So this game could be really huge for the Commanders. They can really give themselves some cushion. So proud of them for that. I'm kind of rooting for them, but not next week. All right, let's get on into it. Here we go. All right, Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the New York Giants. This has got to be the biggest line I have, like, ever seen. I think maybe the 49ers were like 17-point favorites earlier in the year. I can't remember if it was 13 or 17, but I think it was 13. Because 16.5 or 16.5 is crazy. That's absurd. If you're a betting man or woman, stay away from this game. High lines, no thank you. No. It's just a trap to get your money. But we'll start with Baltimore. They have Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, and Zay Flowers. Again, another team coming off the bye. Will this help out the Ravens? Derrick Henry just cut off his dreads. Cooper DeJean, what did you do? What did you do to this man? It was very interesting to see how it goes. Can this game get the Ravens' defense going? They're going against Tommy DeVito, potentially no Malik Neighbors. So I think this can give their defense a jolt of energy to get them going, because their defense has kind of been a liability as of recently. Lamar is not going to be able to. Lamar and Derrick Henry are not going to be able to carry this team all the way to the Super Bowl if their defense does not show up, which is crazy because Baltimore has historically have always had a really good defense no matter what the team is, or whenever they have a good team, they're having a good team because their defense is good. Like last year, of course, Lamar, MVP, everything, but their defense was still really good. And then they just took a huge drop. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was losing Patrick Queen. I don't know. Now to the Giants, we have Tracy Jr. and Malik Neighbors, but he has a hip injury, so we'll have to check that out and see how he does. But yeah, it's just Neighbors and Tracy Jr., they're mainly just there, in my eyes. Like, they're not just there, but it's just they could help you more than they could hurt you. I don't see Tracy Jr. putting up a stinker against this Baltimore Ravens defense. And if Malik Neighbors plays, I definitely don't see him doing that bad. Tommy DeVito is probably going to be looking his way all the time. So this game's going to be a good one just for like a slaughter. It's not going to be a good one for like a good football game. And, of course, you can clip that, of course, if the Giants win. All right, we're moving on because this one is terrible. All right, Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Tennessee Titans. Cincinnati, they're 5-point favorites. Brian Callahan facing his former team in Cincinnati. He was the former OC. Now he is with Tennessee Titans, or with the Tennessee Titans. But we will start with the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are facing the number 2 secondary for wide receivers in fantasy. I don't care because Joe Burrow is their quarterback. And then we have Chase Brown, who's just, he's just been tearing it up as of recent. And then we have the Tennessee Titans. Tony Pollard, if he is healthy, he's dealing with a foot injury. And then we have Calvin Ridley. So, it should be a pretty good game. It's only a 5-point game. And I think it's going to help out a lot because Brian Callahan used to work with the Bengals. But this Cincinnati team is the worst team I've ever seen. I don't know how they keep losing games. I think Joe Burrow is like a top 3 in almost every single category for passing. So that's crazy. And then Jamar Chase is number 1 in like all categories. Who did Fantasy Blitz? And I am humble. I really am. I ask the Lord every day to humble me. Who did Fantasy Blitz say was going to be the number 1, not wide receiver, the number 1 fantasy player all year? That's homework. Go ahead and tell me in the chat. I'll give you a little hint. Hello. This game should be pretty good, though. I'm I'm curious to see how Will Levis does. And then I was typing my notes, and I thought it was pretty funny. Will Levis do enough? Isn't English hilarious? Will Levis do enough? I don't know. I just thought that was funny. But that's the real question is, will he do enough to even help out this team? I doubt the Tennessee Titans can keep up with the Cincinnati Bengals' offensive power. But it's all up to Will Levis if he can keep them in the game. All right, let's check out the chat again. Ryan G says, oh, hold on. Oh, 4KT Owen. Oh, hope you didn't leave us, brother. He says, thanks. I meant to throw Jordan Addison in that list. Also, if that changes anything. Not really, because he's playing the Bears and they have a pretty good secondary. But I do want to talk about that game. So if you can stay for the Monday night game, please do, because I got a lot to say. Steven says, yo. Steven says also, thinking about sitting A.J. Brown this week, playoffs, full PPR. Instead, Jamar Chase and Jawan Jennings at wide receiver and McConkey and Dowdle at flex instead. Thoughts? If not, who do you sit? Let me do this. Why am I reading off like this? Okay, there we go. So you think about sitting A.J. Brown. Okay, not entirely against that. He might have been like your number one pick. Man, I think that's okay. I think if you start Jamar Chase and Jawan Jennings and McConkey, that's all right. I love the Dowdle flex. That's good ball IQ right there. I like that a lot. He says, seems like Dowdle has a juicy matchup. Jennings and McConkey have been good with defined matchups. Yeah, I think you're on the right path. I think you're making the right choices. I think benching A.J. Brown's probably a little scary, but you could do it. Scary. That's not scary. What? Paying bills is scary. Jay says, let's go. Let's go. Welcome in. Please hit that like button on your way in. Wayne Heron says, any thoughts on who broke into Burrow's house? I don't know, but oof. How dumb are you to break into someone's home? But we all make mistakes. That's a big mistake, though. Ryan G says, JT or Garendo? It's okay, Ryan. I said, did I skip over that? I'm sorry. Oh, Purdy or Darnold. Darnold has a higher ESPN projection. Probably Darnold. He did really well against Chicago. I don't know if they're going to draw something up for him this week, but probably Darnold. Because I think the Rams are coming out with something. Uh-oh. Cramp. Oh, my gosh. I got to pause. The show must go on, and I have got to sit a certain way because this is unreal. How did I cramp up that fast? Ryan, I would probably start Darnold and then JT or Garendo. Garendo. Is there no way you could start both? I know you sent me your team earlier, but if you can start both, do that. But it's okay. It's all right. It's not bad. Oh, my gosh. This is killing my leg. Am I not drinking enough water? This makes no sense. All right, let's check out the likes real quick. 7 likes, 7 people watching. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we're moving on. Okay, the next game we have the New England Patriots taking on the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Arizona, they are 6-point favorites. Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Is that really the last game or beginning for 4? I guess so. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 4 o'clock games. That's rare. It's usually like 3 or 4. But I guess when you have 16 games to play, you got to spread them out. Okay, so for the Arizona Cardinals, you have Kyler Murray, James Conner, Trey McBride, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Kyler Murray and the offense have a great game to bounce back from. Yes, the New England Patriots have an okay defense. They're not bad. They're pretty mid. But I think the Cardinals, they need to lock in. This game is really going to show us what kind of team the Arizona Cardinals are. And I think this is a great game for them to bounce back in. And then the New England side, we have Ramondre Stevenson and Hunter Henry. I'm getting so nervous about my dadgum hamstring. I'm scared. And this is just a May growth game. They're probably going to lose. They probably want to lose. I was talking to my Patriots friend the other day, and I might have mentioned this last week too. He does not want to win these games. He just wants Drake May to look good, stay healthy, and get a high draft pick to help out Drake May. And the question for this game is, can Arizona win out? So let's pull up their schedule real quick. Give you all full cam. Let's pull up the Cardinals' remaining schedule. So assuming they win this week, they would be 500 at 7-7. And then after that, they would play the Panthers, the Rams, and the 49ers. So tough 2 games at the end of the season. I think they would have to win out if they even want to think about getting in the playoffs, which is kind of unfortunate. But they should win these next 2 games. So that would help them a lot. So we'll see. All right. Moving on. Oh, excuse me. Ay. All right. Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. We have oh my gosh, that scared me. We have the Colts versus the Broncos. Battle of the horses. And we have the Denver Broncos being the 4-point favorites. We'll start with the Broncos. We have Bo Nix, Javonte Williams, if need be, and Courtland Sutton. Of course, I think Bo Nix is going to do well. It just feels weird every time. And then Courtland Sutton should do well as well. But Javonte Williams, he's projected around 10 points from what I've seen around different areas. But I like the matchup a lot against Indianapolis. So he's the if need be of the week if I had to pick one, because he could be a really good potential flex play if need be, or he could really bust. And I'm banking on him to boom for this game because I don't think they're really going to put that much pressure on Bo Nix. Let's check out their playoff real quick. Where are they at? Okay, so the Broncos are sitting at the 7th seed at 8-5, which is like crazy. They should be fine. Like 2 games ahead. Okay, well, not terrible. I like it. 8. Wait a minute, how is that possible? All right, I don't get it. It's okay. Are there teams with buys from here? No, there's no way. No way. Okay, so for the Indianapolis side, it's just Jonathan Taylor. I was going to put Michael Pittman Jr. and Josh Downs on this list, but I'm not a fan because I don't know if Anthony Richardson's going to do well. And, of course, if your quarterback doesn't do well, your wide receivers are definitely not going to do well or well enough. So Jonathan Taylor's the only Colt that I would have confidence in starting, but beware, be wary. And then what's the other? So it's just trouble for Taylor, and then that's it, really. Can AR-15 perform against a stellar defense like the Broncos? Oh, my gosh. Like, share, and subscribe. You know the deal. No pickle. What is your favorite animal? That's the question of the week. Guys, I really do appreciate it. No matter where you're watching this, how you're watching this. It's awesome that we get to do this every week and just talk about football, talk about starts and sits, and just discuss ball. It's a free show. It costs you nothing to watch. You don't have to pay anything. However, there's a fee. You got to like it. You got to share it. And you got to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, okay? It's awesome. I really do appreciate y'all doing it. It's really cool. But the question of the week is, what is your favorite animal? My favorite animal is an elephant. I love elephants. They're really cool. I haven't seen an elephant in person in so long, and I need to make a plan to, go to a zoo or something to find them because I love them. They're awesome. I would say a dog, but that's, so basic. All right, and then J.C. Clark says, happy Thursday, brother. My man Jelani. Happy Thursday, bro. And then he said Tiger for show. Tiger for show. It's a good pick. Anything like tiger or lion, those are cool. I like those like a shark or something, something ferocious, but pretty cool at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Pretty cool. And then, of course, robust1unarmed.com. Use code FANCYBLITZ with 3 Z's for 24% off your entire order. Guys, I'm telling you, Robust One Unarmed, it's going up. My man Troy has been putting up some crazy designs, and it's really cool. So you guys got to go check them out. RWU, it's the way to go, man. Robust1unarmed.com. Use code FANTASYBLITZ with 3 Z's for 24% off your entire order. He just texted me, too. What in the world? Wayne here says, love the trivia question mine is the elephant. Amazing animal. Apple does not fall far. Hayden Hammond said, toll ride. I'm not I'm not going to say those two words. I'm just going to mess them up. And Wayne Aaron says, boo, Hayden. Hayden. Chill out. Okay, chill out. All right, we're moving on. Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, I put this game after so we could talk about it. Let's do it. Buffalo versus Detroit. Are we looking at a potential Super Bowl matchup? I know I say like game of the century, game of the year every week. This one's crazy. I didn't even know this game was going on until I was talking to my friend last week. But this game's going to be awesome. This is definitely America's game of the week. Cannot wait to do it. I mean, I can't even... I don't even want to talk about the game. I just want to look at the starts and sits. But we got to. So the question, of course, is game of the year maybe? Again, I don't know. Lions' run game, though, can win them this game. That's why I have both running backs, Laporta and ASB, because if both of the running backs can open it up for Jared Goff, which Buffalo's pretty good against quarterbacks, if they can open it up for Jared Goff, that opens it up for Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, all sorts of weapons for the Detroit Lions. So I think that's how they can win the game. And then for the Buffalo side, we have Josh Allen, James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, and oh my gosh, I forget his name every week. Khalil Shakir? What is his name again? Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Davis, I'm so sorry, bro. Getting too comfortable saying bro on stream. Oh, I typed in Kahir. What am I doing? Khalil Shakir. Okay, yeah, I was right. All right. Cool beans. Cool. All right, we got 10 people in the chat. What up? Appreciate y'all. It's awesome. I love it. And then the last thing for... and Detroit's very good on defense. They're very, very good against these matchups. They've had some outlier games, like the Bears, like Caleb Williams throws for 300-plus yards. They don't do that on the regular, so don't look at that kind of stuff. The only thing I'm concerned about is James Cook. Can he do well enough? It's the same situation with the Detroit Lions. Can the run game open up for your quarterback? However, they got Josh Allen, and he can do anything. So it's really up to Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills, and it's really up to Gibbs and Montgomery for the Lions. We're moving on. Here we go. Almost done. Don't worry. And then we can go home. Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's go Chargers. You didn't hear me say that. The Chargers are 3-point favorites, so we will start with them. Justin Herbert, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, no Gus Edwards. Tampa Bay's not terrible against the run, but Gus Edwards is not their RB1. It's J.K. Dobbins. So if J.K. Dobbins was healthy, I would say start J.K. Dobbins, but no thank you. And then for the Tampa Bay side, we have Baker Mayfield, running back roulette, which is, if you don't know, it's just, whoever you have. If you want to start him, you can. I'm not against it. It's just it might turn into a Bucky Irving game. It might turn into a Rachaad White game. Who knows? It might be totally different. And then, of course, Kate Otten and Mike Evans. So let's go ahead and check out the notes for this game. Tampa Bay, they can gain a really good lead if they beat the Chargers. They're already ahead by one game. Let's say they win this game and the Falcons lose to the Raiders on Monday night. They have a 2-game advantage, and that's really it. It could be over by then. So Tampa Bay, they have a really good position to take the lead in the NFC South and just run. Okay, I would hate to see it, obviously, but it could happen. I don't want to see it happen. I think this could be a shootout, but it depends on Baker Mayfield, which obviously he can show up. He probably will show up. But I believe the Chargers they're automatically, I think, going to score like 22+, 23+. But I don't know if the Bucs can do well against this good Chargers defense. So be aware of that. And that's just the question is, will the Bucs defense show up? Okay, we've seen them lose some games for them. We've seen them win games for them. Will they show up? They are the key for this game. Let's check out the chat. There's nothing else there. That's okay. That means we get to move on. The last Sunday game, man, we're going to eat good this week. We really are. Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Battle of Pennsylvania. How you doing? Let's do it. Philadelphia, they are 5-point favorites. They're going to start Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown. No Devontae Smith. He had a good game last week, but that's not going to happen again against this Pittsburgh defense. I just don't think it's going to happen. He's been up and down all year. Can't really trust him to do well on back-to-back weeks. And then we have Najee Harris if need be. It's so crazy to me that Pittsburgh, no Pickens probably, and then Russell Wilson, he might struggle against this really good Philadelphia defense. They only have one guy where I'm thinking you should start, and I still think the Steelers can win. Are they my pick? I don't know. We'll find out at the end. But it's just funny how there's one guy where it's like, yeah, you might want to start him, and I still have confidence because their defense is that good. Not too bad. I'm so excited for this game. The 4 o'clock games are going to be crazy. Like, they're just going to be nuts because they have two absolute bangers in Bills versus Lions and Steelers versus Eagles. We'll see how it goes, man. Makes me want to throw up. No, I'm just kidding. I was just kidding. What? All right, Sunday Night Football. We have the Green Bay Packers versus the Seattle Seahawks, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Green Bay traveling to Seattle. However, they are 2.5-point favorites, so we will start with them. We have Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs. Dude, what am I doing? Josh Jacobs, man, this guy's been on a tear, and we called it early on, okay? Let's see, Josh Jacobs, ranked 6th in this league, so probably like 5, 6, 7 in other leagues. I mean, wow. This is a beautiful thing to look at, just his stats. You know what? It's so good. I'm gonna pull it up. It's that good. Josh Jacobs. Man. Well, let's not try to shortcut it. Jacobs. Did I type in 2? It's hard to type with one. Last games. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's already got 11 touchdowns on the year. Okay? And you know why? Where's the game log? Here we go. Look at this. Unbelievable. Where are they? Hello? What is this? Oh, that's the Sao Paulo game. I'm tripping. All right. 3-1-3-1-0-2. Since October 27th, this man has scored 2, 3, 6, 7, 10 touchdowns. Okay? He didn't have a touchdown, or he only had one touchdown before October 27th, and now he's just balling out. This is a very good Detroit defense. This is a very good Chicago defense. This is a pretty good San Francisco defense. This is a pretty good Miami defense. The guy's incredible, okay? Jacksonville, I don't have to say anything. They're just that bad. They're really that bad, man. It's pretty sad. But I like Josh Jacobs to carry them in this game. However, of course, it's much harder for a running back to carry than a quarterback. So we'll see how Josh Jacobs does. And then for the Seattle side, we have Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker III, DK Metcalf, and Jackson Smith, Njigba, JSN. The key for this game is which quarterback is going to be better. And I'm going to take the guy, this is not my pick. I'm going to say the guy with the better receivers is going to be the better quarterback that night. No Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, nah. Jalen Reed, nah. Like, what's going on? They do have an extra couple days of rest. That'll help him a lot. But the wide receiver game for Green Bay, it's very shaky, okay? So that's why Jacobs has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting as of recent. Yeah, that's about it for that one. Then we have 2 Monday night games. This is crazy. I didn't know that was going to happen at all. Monday Night Football at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are 7-point favorites, so we will start with them. Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones, T.J. Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, and Justin Jefferson. Yeah, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson made the Falcons look really bad last week. Like, really bad. I don't know if they'll do that exact same type of performance against Chicago. I think this is Jefferson's bounce back game. He only had 2 catches against Chicago last time they played. That was his lowest of the year. I expect him to do better. Okay, I don't think he's going to go off for 130 and 2 touchdowns. Nor do I think will he have 2 catches on 24 yards or something like that. It'll probably end up being like a 7 catch. Not 7. That's a lot. 5 catches, 70 yards, maybe a touchdown. So I expect him to do well, but be aware. Chicago may have his number. I don't know. We'll see. And then for the Chicago side, we have DeAndre Swift and wide receiver roulette because How am I supposed to know if Rome Odunze is going to be the guy? How am I supposed to know if Keenan Allen's supposed to be the guy? And again, how am I supposed to know if DJ Moore is the guy? It's all up to Caleb Williams and that oh my gosh, that Chicago offense is so weird. I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Chicago's on a 7-game losing streak. I bet, I'll go ahead and tell you on my pick. Minnesota, I bet they win. So that means 8 games for Chicago. But don't sleep on Minnesota, okay? I know they're playing Chicago. They're really bad. But Minnesota's a good team. If I was any team in the NFC, I would not want to play Minnesota. It's a little nerve-wracking. They got a pretty good defense, and their offense is clicking, okay? So that's a tough one. Now, before we go to the Forsaken game of the Falcons, there's no chat. So we can go ahead and talk about the Forsaken team. Oh, the Falcons. Here we go. Okay. Try not to scream. Try not to scream. Monday Night Football at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's try that again. Monday Night Football at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Atlanta, they are favored by 4 points, which makes sense. So we'll start with them, but Kirk Cousins, if need be, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, who's coming off a great game against the Vikings. I blocked it out of my head. I was like, who did we play? Kirk Cousins, if need be. The reason is because this could be his bounce-back game. A lot of people, maybe including myself, I said something. Minnesota could be his bounce-back game. Wrong. Dead wrong. Oh, my gosh. But the Raiders are a much worse team. It's on Monday Night Football. Kirk Cousins struggles on Monday night. However, this could be his game to bounce back, get back on fire before they go against the Commanders, the Giants, and then the Panthers. So this is a big game for the Falcons because if the Chargers somehow not somehow, it's impossible, but somehow beat the Bucs, and then Atlanta wins, then each team will be tied at 7-7, and then Atlanta will take the lead in the NFC South. So NFC South is hot garbage. However, it's fun hot garbage because you don't know who's going to be the worst team or who's going to be the best worst team. Bijan Robinson should do well. Drake London should do well. Darnell Mooney should do well. He had a very, very, very poor 2 games 2 weeks ago, or in those 2-game stretches before last week. But then he had a great game against the Vikings, so I believe he should continue that trend. Drake London should continue that trend as well. And, of course, Bijan Robinson, guys have been insane all year. So that's great. And then for the Raiders, we have Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers should probably do really well. It's Desmond Ridder throwing him the ball, so he might not do that well. No shot to you, Desmond. I'm just saying, when you played for the Falcons, it was really hard to watch. Very hard. And I don't put all the blame on you. Maybe it's Arthur Smith. But Brock Bowers, I think he is the key. And it's just like the thumbnail, or just like the title of the video, the stream. I think he could be really big on winning your league because he's the best tight end of the year, and he could play at your flex comfortably. Okay, so if you don't have a comfortable flex, put him in your flex, and then throw in a waiver wire tight end like Jawan Johnson, like we talked about. So look out for him to move in your flex if you have him. It's gonna be pretty interesting this game. Oh man, why do I like them? Like, why? I just don't get it, okay? Oh, we got to show over the picks real quick. All right, so here are our picks. We went 9-4 last week, and then when I was going over the tape, there were three games that I chose wrong, and I was very upset. And I chose the Falcons, which I knew I should have chose the Vikings, and then maybe it was just 2. Yeah, it was just 2. And then the Cardinals Seahawks. I chose the Seahawks. And then I chose the Cardinals right after, and I was wrong. So we could be 1-14-46 and have gone 11-2, but no, we went 9-4. Terrible. However, we're staying above that 700 level, so that's really exciting. So let's do it. Let's get into it. The goal is 750 to get the average. Let's check out the chat real quick before anything. Coin Operator says, "Hey, I'm late. Smashing the like now." Coin. Man, if I can count on anyone, it's Coin Operator and Chili Rainbow, but he's not here right now, so that's okay. He's in here in spirit, okay? I love all you guys, but Coin, guy's been here since day one. Before I was even hosting the show. It was this guy's crazy. I love it. Shout out to Coin, biggest Denver Broncos fan, the best Denver Broncos fan. Cheers. Excuse me for that smacking of the mic. All right. Let's do it. It's like my least favorite time. Because then I have to think too hard. Rams versus the 49ers. Give me the Rams. They're 7-6. I'll take that all day. Cowboys versus Panthers. Give me the... See? What do I do here? Do I choose the Carolina Panthers, who have never been favored? Well, have not been favored in 2 years. Or do I choose the Dallas Cowboys, who have a much better defense? That's what I'm doing. I'm choosing the Dallas Cowboys, giving the Cowboys. I'm not picking a 3-10 team to win unless I have to. Chiefs versus Browns. Okay, I just said it. I'm not picking a 3-10 team unless I have to, so give me the Chiefs. Dolphins versus Texans. Give me the Texans. Jets, Jaguars. Wow. I didn't realize how bad this game was. They're combined 6-20. Give me the Jets, though. Commanders versus the Saints. Give me the Commanders. Ravens, Giants. Give me the Ravens. Bengals, Titans, Bengals, and a big one. Patriots, Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. Colts, Broncos, Broncos. Bills, Lions. Sorry, Steven. Give me the Lions. Bucks, Chargers. Give me the Chargers. Steelers, Eagles. I'll take the Eagles. Yeah, give me the Eagles. It's in Philadelphia, so that's why. Packers, Seahawks for Sunday Night Football. I'll take the Packers. Falcons, Raiders. Bears, Vikings. Ooh, that was an ugly face. Sorry. I'm thinking too hard. Vikings. Why would I even think about that one? Falcons, Raiders. You would think the Atlanta Falcons, a 6-7 team, facing the Raiders, a 2-11 team, it should be an easy pick, right? No. It's a tough one, as always. Give me the Falcons, because I'm wearing it. I have to do it, But, I just don't want to watch the game. I just know my heart's going to be racing. It is what it is, though. All right, that's it for the stream. Let's check out the chat before we go. Anybody in there? All right. Coin says, go Broncos, go Eli, go Fantasy Blitz. That's right. The 3 essentials for a coin operator. Jack says, who should I start out of running backs? Walker, Jones, White, or Bigsby? How many do you get to start? 2 or 1? Because if it's 2, give me Kenneth Walker and Aaron Jones, honestly. Yeah, honestly, Kenneth Walker and Aaron Jones. I just don't know about Rachaad White. I don't know what his productivity is going to look like. And then Tank Bigsby. He's on the Jaguars, dude. I don't know. There's just no way. And then Wayne Harris says Texans over Miami. 1,000%. 2, then flex with 3. Okay, so Walker, Jones for sure, and then honestly Rachaad White. But I don't know. Yeah, no, Rachaad White. Rachaad White for sure. Tyler Sperry says Reed versus Myers with the 3rd-string quarterback. Sheesh. Like Jalen Reed? Give me Jalen Reed, I guess. But he put a stinker. Is Walker playing? Oh, yeah, that's one of the things, is if he was healthy. Let's check out if Kenneth Walker is playing, and then we'll get out of here. So, Kenneth Walker. He is questionable. He has... All right, was this 1 day ago? So, we got to see if he practiced today. If you got any insider information, let me know in the chat before. He's got a calf. He says day-to-day. The running back status for Sunday's game is still to be determined. Okay, so the good thing is Mike McDonald, head coach of the Seahawks, says that he has relayed that the running back does not require further evaluation, and his injury is not long-term. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, I think he should be playing. It looks like he's going to be playing, but be aware because he might not. Walker is still questionable. Same with Jones. Aaron Jones is still questionable? Dude, what? Why? What's going on with Aaron Jones? Did he just get... No way. There's no way he just got, I did not see that. Okay, so when I type in Jones, I can't look for Aaron Jones. There he is. At the bottom of the list. His name is Aaron. Why would... Okay. All right, questionable. What's up with Aaron Jones? Oh, he was limited at Thursday's walkthrough due to a back injury. So it was a walkthrough, and he was limited. So it's not like practice. He was limited in a walkthrough. That's a little more scary than Kenneth Walker's deal. So I guess just look out for him. Hey, what's his name again? I'm so sorry. Jack. So if you're stuck without Walker, Walker or Jones, golly, I can't speak, then White and Bigsby's not terrible. I think you have a good problem. I think those are 4 really good running backs, so you should be okay. What is up? CK Vlog says, which wide receiver should I start? Full PPR. Cup, Devontae Adams, Higgins, or McLaren. Okay. So you got to let me know if all wide receivers and then a flex spot or just 2 wide receivers or 1 wide receiver, but we'll just go over them. Okay, I think you should start Devontae Adams and Terry McLaren because I was just talking to my friend Brandon, who's on the show in the chat here and there. We were talking about he talked to us about how Terry McLaren is just always disrespected every year, and I would agree. Every year he's disrespected, and then he just pops off. So start Scary Terry and Devontae Adams. It's not that I don't think you should start Cooper Kupp. I just think he has a tougher matchup. But if you think he might do better, I think he's the best receiver, the second best receiver in that group, and that's a stacked group. So you could do it. I just don't know. Okay? So let me know, whoever, I guess. Dang, we got 10 people in the chat. What's up? Appreciate y'all. And 10 likes on the video. How many do we have for the whole stream? Let's check that out real quick. I know I said we'd get out of here, but hey, it's fun to talk. Whoa, 112 people have popped in. That is insane. Wow, we're making history. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. Oh, I got to move this forward. Okay, there we go. All right. Appreciate y'all, though, for real. At what point did we pop off? All right. Cool beans. Really appreciate it. The Lord provides. All right. Well, hit me more with your start and sits. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds. Because, okay, well, let's look at the playoff picture. I'll give you all my playoff picks right before we go. Let's do this. All right. And then we'll go to screens and cam. Not going to lie, the echo kind of scared me, and you'll never know because you're not in the studio. However, it feels like I'm talking to you right here. Okay, so on the bubble. All right, let me just do process of elimination. Yeah, no way you're getting in. 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 And it makes me happy. I'm sorry. Not going to lie. Look at the shirt. Why would it not? Potentially. I don't think so. Potentially. Probably. I don't know. Might not be enough room. Because their only chance is... Well, not only chance. They're really just fighting for that spot. Same with the Falcons right here. So if I had to pick who's making it in, that's a lock. That's a lock. If I had to pick, I bet the Seahawks make it in. And then Falcons. And then Vikings, of course. It just stinks how they're in the NFC North. Same with the Packers. They're in. And then, honestly, the No, I bet the Rams win. I bet the Rams get in. I bet they get the last spot, and Washington gets booted out in the last week. And then for the AFC side, a lot of teams have been eliminated. Look at that. Not in. Okay, so we have the Bengals. Yeah, I don't think they have enough in them. I just don't think they can do it. So, no way. No way. Actually, maybe. No way, because they're going to lose this week. So I think the AFC is pretty much set. I don't think anyone's really fighting their divisional, leader for a spot. I think it's just really, looking at the 6 and 7 spot, really. Oh, it's going to be a tough one. Yeah, we've had a really good season so far. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, let's go back to Southern. That's the name. It's Southern Pick. It's so long. I'm not going to explain. All right. Well, let's check out the chat one more time. That's about it. Okay. That's it from me. Don't forget to set your lineups. Here we go. This is it. This is what we all have been waiting for. I will be watching from the sidelines because apparently I suck at fantasy. I just don't know how I lost. It doesn't make sense to me. Why? Why? How am I going to tell my kids that Joe Burrow, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jonathan Taylor didn't get me in the playoffs? How am I going to tell them that? They're going to be so sad. Makes no sense. All right, guys. Really appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best. It's awesome. This was probably our biggest stream of the year. It's playoff time, so y'all are the best. Hit us up on Twitter if for any starts sits. Also, the YouTube comment section. I'm always looking at that, so let me know. Go check out our waiver wire video just in case you get any waivers in. I'm not going to tell you who I put in, but, you know, got to watch the video. But y'all are the best. Seriously, I appreciate y'all. I never want to leave the room whenever it's time to go, or whenever it's time to go, but really appreciate y'all. I cannot say it enough. Y'all are the best. God bless. Be kind. Peace.